EU member states are home to more than 25 million Muslims. 5.7 million of them live in France. It is home to Europe's largest Muslim population, a population that was once referred to as migrants. Most Muslims came to Europe after the Second World War, around the 1950s. They began working in sectors seen as dirty or jobs seen as difficult, like building roads or working in coal mines. North Africans migrated to France. Indonesians and Surinamese went to Holland. Indians, Pakistanis and Bangladeshis went to the UK. Turkish and Kurdish labourers went to Germany. Turkey and Germany were allies in the Second World War, you would remember. A Cold War and a couple of generations later, the Muslim population in Europe has found itself in a tight spot. Look at France, for example. While 7 Muslim players led the country to the 2018 Football World Cup win, there were also Muslims who were found guilty of attacking the Charlie Hebdo office in 2015, or beheading a teacher on the outskirts of Paris in 2020, or stabbing people in Nice, or driving a truck over Bastille Day revelers in 2016. Also in a tight spot is France. It is walking a tightrope between extremism and Islamophobia. This is also true for the rest of Europe. These countries are looking at France closely. They're taking notes on how France addresses the problem, because this country hosts the largest Muslim population in Europe. In the last few months, France has refused to appease minorities. It has withstood international criticism and upheld the right to blaspheme, also that it can safeguard secularism and its people from extremism. Like we said, France now is writing the final chapter in this fight. The question is whether France is setting the right example for Europe. It is definitely focusing on the root of radicalization. It is trying to nip the problem in the bud. From institutions like schools and sporting clubs, France is re-anchoring secularism, drawing a line between rights and religion. For example, the bill halts issuing a virginity certificate, the practice of polygamy, forced marriage. These are issues that have more to do with consent and civility, if you may. They're not about religion, really, and it's very important to underline this. This bill also takes into account the changing online reality. It makes it easier to delist websites promoting hate speech, or detain people promoting an attack on public sector employees. Again, it's the need of the hour. That said, the French bill is not all black and white, and we must say this here. This is what critics say. Allowing authorities to pull shutters on institutions without court orders leaves ample room for injustice. Requiring government permission for homeschooling runs contrary to the idea of personal choice. If radical Islam is a 2021 reality, so is Islamophobia, so is human rights violations. France will have to ensure that this bill strikes the right balance. President Macron must fight radical Islam without further marginalizing French Muslims. Experts will tell him about the links between prejudice and terror. France must avoid quoting it. It is critical because, as we said, France is setting an example for the European Union, not for the sake of silencing some Muslim leaders, the ones who accuse Macron of Islamophobia while maintaining a deafening silence on Muslims in China. He should do this for the sake of the 5.7 million Muslims in France and for the millions outside it, most of whom are neither radical nor extremist, people who are just as troubled by violence as their fellow Caucasian citizens. Macron must ensure that his country secures the future of its citizens, irrespective of their religion. Puts the law above religion for all. It is not going to be easy, but it would be the right thing to do. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.